Sebastian and Adrian smiled at the group, then fell into silence for several moments. Despite everything, a strange sense of calm began to settle over them. The tension in their shoulders eased, their breathing steadied. For the first time in hours, their minds began to clear, no longer consumed by pain or survival, but able to think, to question. Sebastian's gaze drifted from one face to the next, something tugging at the edge of his thoughts. There was one detail he couldn't quite wrap his head around. "How are you speaking our language?" he asked, his brow furrowing, "when there are over 7,000 on Earth alone?" The Ishtoa woman turned to him. Her voice was smooth, measured, and devoid of any accent. "We no longer define communication through language," she said. "Long ago, a viral mutation disrupted the regions of our brain responsible for verbal expression. We lost speech completely." Sebastian frowned. "Then how are we talking now?" "Our minds evolved," she explained. "Or rather, we were forced to awaken something latent. With the help of our technology, we accessed a new sense, a form of cognition that processes meaning directly, bypassing words. You possess it too. Most do. It's just dormant." Sebastian blinked, caught between awe and confusion. "This sense allows for pure conceptual transmission," she continued. "Every sentence you speak has a meaning behind the structure, an intention. That's what we receive. Your words are shaped by your language, but the meaning precedes them. We don't hear your sounds. We absorb the intention before it's turned into speech." Sebastian's eyes widened. Adrian leaned forward slightly, intrigued. "And when you respond to us?" "We don't project sound," the woman said. "We transmit our thoughts directly. Your brain, trained by your culture to expect voices, creates one. The tone you hear, the cadence, it's your own mind filling in the shape of the message. That—" Adrian shook his head, smiling faintly. "That feels like magic, but somehow natural. I had no idea it was even possible." The rest observed them with quiet intensity, neither confirming nor interrupting. Their expressions suggested they were used to this reaction. The Ishtoa boy, who had been silent until now, crossed his arms. "It's not magic. It's just efficient information exchange. Your brain is doing most of the work anyway." Sebastian tilted his head. "So you can communicate with anyone?" The woman nodded. "In principle, yes, as long as the brain structure is similar. But for the link to form, there must be physical contact. Brief, even minimal. That allows our neurology to identify the electrical structure of the other brain. Once the connection is established, communication can begin." Adrian narrowed his eyes. "But then how are we understanding the Kopat and the Koat?" "They don't speak to you directly," she clarified. "When you interact with them, we act as a neural bridge. We serve as relays. Your intention reaches us, and we pass it on to them. Their response comes back through us, labeled with their identity, so your mind treats it as theirs. Your brain interprets it as if it came directly from them, including the illusion of voice and tone." Sebastian stepped back slightly, brow furrowed. "So you're basically rerouting our thoughts, like a telepathic translator?" "Precisely," she said. "But only when you intend to speak. We don't hear thoughts. Your brain must initiate the output." "So you're not listening in?" Adrian asked. "No. We can't access idle thought," she replied gently. "Only deliberate signals. Just like your ears don't hear your heartbeat, we don't hear what you don't choose to transmit." Adrian and Sebastian shared a glance. Then, wordlessly, they stepped away and walked a few meters down the path. After a quiet exchange, they returned. Sebastian's voice was calm, but a note of challenge had returned. "How do we know you're really here on Numens' request, and not loyal to Laptus?" "There's no way for you to know for certain," the Koat replied, his voice flat and precise, like data calmly delivered. "Only Numens could provide proof. In the absence of that, trust remains a variable." Adrian gave a short nod. "Hard to trust anyone these days, besides each other." The girl tilted her head slightly, her tone reflective and even. "Even so, the road leads to the same place. Both Numens and Laptus want you to reach the thread. Their motives differ. The destination remains the same." Sebastian clenched his fists. "But that's the problem. The right path, the right choice. How are we supposed to know? It's too much." "You're not meant to know yet," the girl said softly, her voice like a calm vision. You will when you need to, and when that moment comes, your heart won't hesitate. The Ishtoa boy crossed his arms, tone stripped of emotion. Confidence isn't granted, it's earned, and doubt won't get you there. Adrian lifted his hand slightly, trying to ease the tension. Well, if we're all going to the same place, maybe we stick together. 6 is better than 2. Sebastian exhaled and gave a faint smile. Yeah, all right, let's keep going. They resumed their journey, the transparent path stretching ahead like a ribbon of crystal across the strange land. The Kopat and Koat led the way. The Kopat walked with his eyes half closed, his massive frame moving with deceptive silence, his ears flicking at subtle vibrations in the sand. The Koat scanned the landscape ahead with fast, darting eyes, measuring, mapping. Behind them, Adrian and Sebastian followed side by side, speaking in low tones. We never got your names, Adrian said, addressing the two ahead. Sorry we didn't ask earlier. My name is Meskro, the Kopat answered, his voice like gravel rolling down stone. He didn't look back. And I'm Chromes, the Koat said, offering a small nod over his shoulder. Adrian raised an eyebrow. Same root in your names. Are you two related? Twins, Chromes replied. Our mother was a Koat researcher from Ikro. She met our father on Akka. She was a Koat. Their union wasn't expected. But it worked, Meskro said simply. Adrian smiled. That's incredible. Sebastian turned to the pale figures walking behind them. And what about you two? What are your names? I am Zenith, of strength, endurance, and reason, embodying the protection and welfare of others, the Ishtoa girl said in her calm, clear voice. And I'm Vortex, the boy said, with a nod that was more practical than warm. Of loyalty, structure, and function, driven by necessity, not sentiment. Adrian and Sebastian exchanged a surprised look at the length and tone of the introductions. Those are quite the mouthful, Sebastian remarked with a chuckle. We didn't realize they were long, Vortex replied. To us, they're just a concept. Adrian laughed. All right then, we'll call you Zenith and Vortex. Works better for us. Zenith nodded thoughtfully. I like it. And we're also twin siblings, the Ishtoa male added, his tone steady. Sebastian and Adrian smiled, comforted by the odd but compelling company now traveling with them.